Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel AI with Web. Today's topic will be discussing on the issue of AI and the rule of law. The Deputy Secretary of the Judicial Commission of Zimbabwe actually explained it in such a manner. He said it is the automation of justice. What this means for the rule of law and AI, it is the intersection where we'll be able to use artificial intelligence and technology to advance and push the mandate of justice and the rule of law. So for starters, we'll start by definitions. What is artificial intelligence? What is rule of law? Artificial intelligence is a system of technology in which machines and computer systems would have a human-like capability of comprehending and asserting over things. And rule of law is a notion or a philosophy in which certain things in society go about in a certain kind of way that is beneficial to individuals and people in a society in an orderly and well planned out manner. Right. So our first point that you look at the issue of artificial intelligence in the law. We'll look at how artificial intelligence helps with the administration of justice in the justice and legal system. What this means that through the use of artificial intelligence, justice can be saved to everyone. And this can be attained in such a manner. Under the legal and Latin maxim, aude autem partem, which essentially means everyone has the right to be heard. The use of AI technology has made it possible for people to sit through court cases virtually and have their court cases virtually, and also has made it able for the justice delivery system, particularly in Zimbabwe, to be able to expedite the justice delivery system, because they'll be able to handle cases virtually and through online sessions, unlike traditionally where someone had to wait until they come to court and their matter can be heard. But through the use of AI and technology, the matters can be heard simultaneously in different courtrooms over the same period of time, and these matters can be heard, particularly if they are remand matters, or if it's in initial trial. So this is one way that we actually see AI in motion and how much of an advantage AI is to us as people. Another second advantage of using AI in the justice delivery system and the rule of law, particularly in Zimbabwe, would be the case management system. Through AI and technology, cases can be managed in a very efficient manner, and also can be managed in large volumes through the use of AI. A good example would be the ANCA system, the Integrated Electronic Case Management System, which was introduced by the Zimbabwe Judicial Service Commission. Under this system, cases can now be managed electronically, and people can even file for their matters electronically. What then this does is that it helps with the cumbersome exercise in which judicial officers, be it like officers of the court or even legal practitioners themselves, would have to go through large volumes of pages, or carrying large volumes of paper to file to court, which in most cases would tend to be cumbersome. But nowadays, a 350-page document, which would traditionally be too heavy to carry around to file in court, can now be scanned and compiled into a 250 document, but carried in one's phone. And a person can carry 100 or maybe 200 of such 250-page documents, something which they could not do if it were not for AI and technology. So AI has really helped a lot in terms of case management. And looking at the issue of case management, through technical features such as search bars, right? In the past, looking for a particular case would take a lot of time, as the judicial officer of the court will be going through pages looking for a particular phrase or a particular name. But now, through technology and AI, you can just input a sentence or a phrase in the search bar, and then within minutes and seconds, the results would be prompted and would come out. So that is also another advantage of how AI and technology has actually helped with the rule of law. The third issue would be AI and policing and the criminal justice system. Through AI, surveillance of criminals or suspects, especially for maybe convicts who are on house arrest, or for suspected individuals who are being surveyed to see whether or not they committed a certain crime, can actually be enhanced and be bettered by the use of AI. Through AI systems, like say some computer programs, they can just be attached to surveillance cameras across the globe, and then within a few minutes, matches of where an individual is can actually be found. A good example in this would be in the fictional movie called Fast and Furious. I think it's Fast and Furious 9, which there's an AI system called God's Eye, where you can just input a image of an individual, and then within minutes you can be able to locate where that individual has been for that day, or where they have been or around, and you can pinpoint and point certain areas that they visit to. I think through the use of AI as well, that can actually help the police with policing, especially in the criminal justice division, is they can actually seize and search for items, and particularly the whereabouts of suspected individuals or the whereabouts of convicts on house arrest, whether they left the house or not, or even the house arrest English themselves. They're connected to computer systems, and that is also another way in which AI is being used to better the policing, especially in the criminal justice system. Yes, so I think that's also another advantage of how AI can be used in policing and the criminal justice system. The fourth element to look at would be the element of how AI can actually be used to enhance the carrying out of certain routine legal tasks, such as legal research and legal tasks such as filing of papers, stamping of papers, sorting of court documents, be it in the court rooms or in the law firms. So through the use of AI, all these routine legal tasks can be automated. A good example would be look at the deeds office. Right now there's conversation to actually right now there's conversation to actually make the deeds office an electronic deeds office, and also to automate the deeds office. What that will mean is that, say for instance, documents like deeds of transfer or deeds of grant can actually now be sorted out electronically. And through the use of AI, we can also do away with such other elements of fraud, or some challenges that are being faced, such as faking, forging and frauding of documents, through adding extra security features through the use of AI. The security features that can be added include QR codes, e-signatures, serial number bars. These are some of the features, or even scan readable documents, or even biometric fingerprints to a certain document. These are all security features that can be attainable through the use of AI to be able to attest to the authenticity of a document. Not only can it be used in the deeds office through land registry, certain legal routine legal tasks, such as even the payment of fines, can now be done through the use of AI. A good example would be in the health sector. There in Zimbabwe, we have what is called the 263 check, whereas if maybe you've forgotten your medical aid card at home, you don't necessarily have to carry it with you or even remember the number. You can actually use your biometric features such as your thumb to just place it on the scanner and be able to seamlessly pay for your medical aid from your card. That can actually be the same system that can be used through the payment of fines if we are able to utilize AI. However, there are certain challenges that also come with the use of AI in the legal system and also to the rule of law. The first one such challenges is the issue of transparency and accountability. There are very high chances that AI will tend to override human capacity, override human thinking as a machine. As you know, AI is a machine, and all machines are meant to make human effort easier. Like say, for instance, although a human individual invented a calculator, but a calculator can calculate more calculus than a human being. That is a given. That is the same situation that we'll be able to experience in the utilization of AI. There are chances that AI will go beyond human expectations and even do greater things than what human beings can. What then that entails that at some point humans may not be able to stop AI. So that also becomes a challenge in that there needs to be constant checks and balances in the way that AI is utilized, in the way that AI is programmed, so that it does not go beyond the scope of its operations. So that's challenge number one. Challenge number two is because AI is programmed by a group of natural persons or certain individuals. Therefore, there are certain codes or programming language that is used in the programming of AI. So it now all depends on where that AI software or where that AI tool was created and the kind of person that created it. It therefore has an influence on how the AI tool will operate. Let's say, for instance, in America, they use the jury system, and an AI system can be used to select certain jurors to appear on the jury panel. If the programmer programs it in a certain way that it picks out certain individuals to be part of the jury, there is room for bias and discrimination. AI tools can tend to be very discriminatory and biased towards the thinking and how the programmer created them. So that is also one major challenge in the use of AI. That also then leads us to our final comment and our final discussion will be the issue of ethics and regulation of AI and its use in relation to the rule of law. To start with, there are obviously certain legal norms or legal rules that govern the legal practice or that govern the rule of law or that govern the justice systems. And AI has to comply with most, if not all, of these norms and legal rules. And also another thing that is to be noticed that AI coming in the sector of the rule of law comes in as a tool to aid the administration of justice in this sector. So that means definitely AI has to abide by certain legal norms. And also the societal values that AI has to save, especially like with an intent to save society. So there really is need for regulation and ethical considerations in the use of AI. For instance, as previously mentioned, AI has the capacity to be biased and discriminatory in nature, depending on how the programmer created it. Now, if no ethical considerations are taken into place, that bias and discrimination can be used to topple judicial decisions or to sway judicial decisions in a certain way from one certain angle to another. So all those things also need to be taken care of and considered. Another issue will be the use of deepfakes, and especially during political periods towards elections. Deepfakes have now been predominantly used to sway the poll of citizens from one individual to another. For example, a number of voice audios can be made using deepfake voices of a person, or a very tangible and classic example would be when the president of Ukraine, a deepfake was made of the president of Ukraine proclaiming that they had been beaten by Russia, and now all Ukrainians had to let up arms and concede defeat. What then that does is that the soldiers of Ukraine, thinking that this is a true story, would then lay down their arms and only get to suffer the consequences as all this would be false. So this is one of the major problems of AI, and there's essentially need for ethical considerations in the use of AI and deep need for regulations. Now we move on to our conclusion. In conclusion, we are just saying, in the use of AI, particularly to the rule of law, there is need for a balanced approach in the utilization of AI, bearing in mind that the purpose of AI is to automate justice and make it easier, make the attainable of justice easier. Secondly, AI is supposed to be used as a tool to advance justice, not otherwise. So what that essentially means is that in all the things that we have said, such as how AI can help in the administration of justice, how AI can help in the automation of routine legal tasks, how AI can help in the policing and use in the criminal justice systems. All these things have to be done in a way that protects society and push forward the idea of fair and justice. Yes, and also AI has also considering, however, that AI has the capacity to be discriminatory and biased. It is untransparent, and there is need for us to be able to hold AI accountable to some of the actions. Thank you.